oh papa who are, for instance, let's say me papa were reincarnated. Now it's just like moving from that higher stage down here.
Yes.
Now there are people over there within the church. So my father's infant said, "You can worry me sister, Cecilia. You be you be
Exactly my point. There are me person me who say, Cecilia no papa no say we reincarnated after 1 year na. Na wa beya wo ba boy na wa wo no na, wo ne wo fie na. Wo friend na enye wo papa na beba biom. But abusuani mufo ni bi na omo edi sade say omo reincarnate no. Omo sisi ho.
Yes, the ones that your call for.
That's what I'm asking. Yes. We are the biggest, we are the largest, we are the highest, we are the greatest, we are the tallest, we are the mightiest African spiritual platform. I welcome you people with lots of love. I am Labraska, the sun goddess, call me the spear of destiny. I am Nadromo Ofenu. I am a woman of peace. I'm the world star number 8. I am the true bloodline. I welcome you people to another great episode. You are watching Revelations, the platform of all platforms, and we are the mother of all spiritual platforms. I welcome you people. It's going to be late. It's going to be great because we are going to talk about our unseen friends. Who are they, or who are those? And then who asem ne kwa akọ twetwe ho nkomo nti no me ma ye guest na akọ aba ne yehu no ansa ye de nkomo na nkasa atopono no so ne ahwede be free mu aba papa ye ma akọ aba at the Revelations platform so.
Yeah, and
okay. And then I did come our platform kese so nti no ahobrase kwan so na wachia ahwefo no de ani de kese amomo kosom no ma platform no so same platform dia. Now we are introduce you ho a kire pese ehu nipa ko a we are ready for anything. Na afa ye wi ankomo na akoso na ya ba o topic ni so our unseen friends.
Yeah. We are friend me Sampson Owusu. Doha say ebedi nkomo kakra ewo eniema bia say eben yen enso ye hu say ye pese yenye yetu anamo bia wo honhom mu a wo say ho ne start fi na ye kwose ase wo mfinfin a ebe ma ye nante na enko se ne wo say ekono ti na ye ba ye no nkomo a ye bedi etietia eniema bia nyankopon agba aka ye ho aye say yehu omo ntino ya to omajajem ana ama yemu bi ene nanenam ye pemwa enso yenya
yo yemu akwaba ye nu nsuso eso na ye pese yehu yi sese no nkomo na no ye betwetwe no. Who are you? Who you there? Where is it going to come from? What's your source of information now obema ye no? O source ye there?
Okay, me ankasa dem really di me ekist, but
we are the atheist.
Ekist. Ekanka.
Ekist.
But enye ekanka di mu na.
Waba nti no
ho be che madwen ewo mo Revelation platform yi so. Most of it so me ankasa me experiences on the spiritual path. Yeah, me ankasa me hwehwe mu am I spiritually. And mahu say ne ma no na mpese.
Oni ye twetwe. Nti how do you do your spiritual investigation and now your spiritual path? Do we want to know how did you get there?
Every spiritual path be and I say every step be a bit take be was as we so spiritual in nature. No matter how physical sana mona wutu no. Se bibia udu ani hu bibia. Ade na uhu no definitely na chi ho no aka bibia sie wo na chi. Yemfa se mehwe wi ami hu wachi ho no wo body na akata bibi so and to always be an your physical movement ne ne ma ye na say ye ti ase wo honhom a ebeboa yen ama ye kra no physically no kra no ye to anamo a ebeboa yen akoye say ye nkutu anamo bi ade orina na say ne ma bi be cross yakwa
enti no sesi ano wo kasa no na wo say eniame bi a onyame boka ye ho ana obo ade ne boka ye ho a ya to na jeje mu eniama ben no
yana mi bisa me ho say me ekoni me Ghana ni me African obo ade bo me no itimopo ene sen say one family anko to US no de me ba ha no de me call that particular tribe wa me wo mu o ma me papa no me maame ene bo me but one family anko ba before that means me won nema be o say me sua efi sa setting ni if se meti anko pon ase a eno the first na o say me sua ansa na makohwe bi o ba before
eno na yeden we want to know
and make us say obi o ho a na mutime kire ne kura wo asem bimbi a wanya ba asem ana asem bi a ahokira na asem bibi otime kura ko ne papa na so ekosu obehwe ne situation na solve it. Now the question you be say won say e dey no ne papa ne na so itime bua na manitimi overcome such challenges no. Secondly, Shasha Ghana ha almost a few bia bosom. Enti yan kasa ye bi say ho say ye den ya boyen na ya fa bosom na so ade abewura abusuan ni nyina eto. Purpose ben na bosom no play e wo say abusuan no enhyehyɛ mu ana so mo na motu. Tore bia kan spiritual book bia na ye relate onyankopon tu enipa a watena wi asepen. So hwɛ Bible say Abraham nyankopon na de ade. Enti yen so ayɛ ayefo no so ye wo aboafo bi a say ye papa no ne ye maame no mo wu atwam a mo ben a ye betimi should I say invoke blessings na ya Owusu if you say wo ye ho very close more than even how close your skin is na they obey a spiritual principle a kire say why invite you need business be to enter your space. But when you do invite them in times of trouble, they are always there. And you don't need any special training to ask your father, your grandfather, or sometimes even the family crowd, they are dwarfs. And I say, you don't need permission from anybody to ask help from them. But what I realized is that we jump them and go seek help from somewhere.
What is Obosum?
Obosum.
You see Obosum yeden.
I see Obosum to be part of the spiritual side of every family or the spiritual side of every group of people. And to be say Obosum be our identity.
And so that's what I want to know. Say Obosum yeden, ye ka se nipa yeden a. Me no mienu ne ye nipa ya ye si ya kasa tototo. Say ye bisa so saman yeden a, osaman ye obi a wawu. Na isunsu mebo a nti bosom ye den
bosom ye fancy entities are especially in the group of people Asia there are entities be behind them on some di kan say the obehun bia no there is something behind that sa de na hu no akata so nti whilst ye take care of your physical life your woman they are also there been from ancestors but bosom nankasa no those are spiritual heads are the peculiar Asia almost taking the spiritual side of say Siemuna na say busiano no mo ye ho adwuma
se ni pekuo bi hia na sa spiritual dia wo kan bosum no beba betai o mu echi a wo warrant that what am I say bia ye hia ye 50 na ye hia ye na ye kofra bosum na bosum na no beba na wa betai echi how does it happen how does it work
bia onam bia no onam hokwa
ese no de waka kire say obia na ma ne ancestors di mechi am I correct
bosom awabusiam ho nso
so that's what I want to know bosom no how bosom no ye den no be end up in ebusia no na bosom na nkasa ye den what is bosom
no ye the spiritual and make us entities are for instance me papa wo ho na me pesika I go to my father but if I need spiritual help I can't go to my father because he be not spiritually inclined. Definitely I have to rest on the other side of the family. I'm in charge of spirituality. Now the head of those things, also below no ancestors should be aba.
So that's what I'm saying. Say a ban is saying no abusunya way. What am I saying? Bosom ne ye den na a ban is saying no be ana group ana busunya bi nya bosom. Do you get me?
Yes.
Like nipa ni group ya na bosom na kwa bosom no ho wo mo so.
Nyankopon abode obo kan busunya.
I get it. Nti nyame na bo bosom ka busunya bia ho.
Busunya bia ho.
Nti se obi hwe ye sesi a in 2 letter words. Bosom ye den. What will you say?
Or the spiritual part of the family.
Spiritual part of the family. And you be an ekotu ni be fie ho. Nyame bo ne kan ho. We want to understand this.
Sometimes so na ko tu bosom fi baby. Eba busua mu a. E te say bi o ma free hand makotena buchiri. Metimi a operate there, but menye obruni. Wait me akofa bosom bi into the family to help. But then within the family, no, there is always one. Not there, or you're part of the family. Omo kasako timikase menana. Or fre ni panese menana. Which means
nyame bobi kan obi abusua ho.
Obi abusua.
Se nyame bobi kan obi abusua ho na den ti no obi kotu bi. No kotu a or de be ka de nyame abo aka abusua ne ho. How would this happen?
Obi ho special needs. Bia or feel say one obi ho ignorant about that power now when abusin onim ana onyawe obi also yawe enso no ope bi aka ho
ope bi aka ho yi bosom na nyame boka aye ho no ewo abusun anim no if we realize them and now if we acknowledge them what are their demands? Do you get it?
Yes.
What are their demands? Do we worship them? And know one. If we don't know them, we don't acknowledge them, and now they emphasize ignorant about them. And also no, omo instances wabe no mo de ba question me no. Last one no, dia obia kotu e dia beke fio because of our special needs no. Or no any de nyame boka abusua no ho according to you no. Omo work together and now so omo ye rival. Do you get it?
Okay.
3 questions are mediable because me person we ye well structured.
The obia kwakotu adiaba no. Ayo no na koye no kotu ye. Ento no nanim timopo odi kotu ye. But odi babusua ni mu a bia na obi nso wo interest mu a obetimi ene no asom bosom no. But in the one in the family there normally ya na ye nsom no sa. Se bia ye de ne ho to say o papa wo ho. You don't worship your father. But you go to your father in times of need and I say who revere him, say at least or a part of you. And he whenever there is this problem, say bosom wabusium and obi kwakofabia bana. Obi okrasika wabusium but ebia no so no obekofa for fraba e no issue. But that doesn't mean say bosom na ode bano ebe boa more than on one kasan there because the way the an ono ye me fan say blood was part of you. It no more fan say or no pain with me no relating more. And now to whatever is in your family name penifo abosu de omlim wachi wade omo ye part of the family to omlim de account na de income. Nti bisa me a make say what is in the family no I am more dependable on demand as compared to
say the owo abusua no say no ye nsom ne saa.
You don't even worship them at all. It is ancestors idea can
you don't worship
them.
Enti dia omokotu na mostly e omo worship ya na.
Yeah.
Enti bosom for no omo di nwan ne nantwie no akodu level say bi mu kra say edi nipa no. Which ones are those?
So we could try me didn't say we try moja gu bosom so and also man ensa and I say bibia is equal to worship. Now when you feed somebody on one person's favorite food or the manner. When the name you miss say how frequent and bosom nankasa effort will be. I say on your side now. When nobody agree say your bosom baby will fear for several years. Obi ansom obi anguso san obi anya hwe. But at the end of the day logusu on how will be agree. Ube say one day will be better sorry or there be me man say I'll take control then start the whole thing again.
Matthias here dia me say me hu ni say which ones na ya omomo enjoying you are a Ghanaian so you know these things. One mo na mom enjoying ponche you know this.
Yes.
What yati say yes bosom no kro no mo nya ne hwe nti no okuku fie oni but you fed this. So we want to know those yes mo any those no mo jeji nantwie ni nwan ni aye kuku nipa since you are talking about bosom.
Yes, and make us say nantwie de any say nwan na de aden de me to me it's optional. Abosom na part of it. Some of them are ancestors. Some of them have lived before. in the same family before no more call the next level of existence. And in the higher level of existence, he still feels so a part of the family. So he comes down always to come and help. He doesn't need anything from you. But maybe when you are open enough, now we invite they will come to your aid.
So dear him almost say, I say you know this,
yes,
you felt this. Me person you dear where he no dear okay dear anka simple and I'm a boy. Into dear him na wan some more omuku abusi omo share abusi ase ene nantwie omo we no omo ready.
Okay, they just say and make us say no. It depends on how you look at it. And make us should be a trap. A good son. He's not worshiping anybody. But me person just say you form to say nipa. Send a me kind to say yemfa assist craft for instance. I want to say that I will call the next level. Now say we are in a bonnet. And I say nipa na crowd exist in a crowd in a bonnet. They have their own way of getting angry. They have their own way of obi ho we yan bibi obebo aso or ye unia. Send ye e bin wo buso e bin su na bufiso no. It comes in that line. Now, there me can say, for instance, so obi a kroboni onwenwa. Naturally, woman and wa hand pa or be react in a particular way. That's what the fian can. Eti susu say, na ngopon bo so na sa se kra no. Or no kra there are some things that it comes with punishment. We call it karma. Na ngopon bo so na sa. So every ibia wo nyankopon asibia in existence both spiritual and physical no omo red line what try he may react, so I see it to be so normal
because yes many problem about that but omo kuku abusian because according to you they are just there to so help. 20 years in pono obi enfi omo nipa ba ko sorry so obi fi omo no activating na it works ade so omo si fi ono wa ma omo aduane na omo wi nipa na wo fie ho no.
Me feel say film they can they don't stop say they are almost stop say bia aduane keke no mo mano. It goes beyond that many times.
Tell us
because if bosom wo ho na me recognize say bosom a very probable say na tiwa de me de beka no because my dream cry any ne so enemy me said that
internet say we have to worship them. Is that it?
You don't have to. And
so I want to know what he's just there. Na me worshiping no, me acknowledge no. Na me so me to one me bo me bra na nti se me di bibi koka no na ebetumi aye na chiwade. Na se wetumi react here. That's where I want to get it straight. You get me?
Em fan say what ya? What you want somebody in the next house. Making noise. If you want so that time at the na wo ye no. That noise now wo ye no AD still you react in a particular way. The first what in the fee or minding the business. Now so minding business, there are some actions you hold you have to react. And make I say it doesn't stop from stop at say command but it's not say you doing them call no matter what, it's very easy for us
what are three things obi nim ni fie bosoma niam bi ebetumi esi ma ebetrega bosum no a ye nim no ebetrega na ma ne buofu a na obeye bibi. What are some of the things common ones
efie bia wona chiwade enya bosum ne nko ande chiri ube hu say mu amoye descendants of ni na mu nyina say chiwade na ekam. And when you bring say chiwade na me de enwa ye example kobofo fie o de nwura ho a o hadwen. And they definitely mean so say krobobusum bi wo ho a wo pem ha.
Na okay. Enti say wo korin wa na wo nim na wo kote na America na wo rin wa na fe de a. Bankrofo so echi wade e wo mu fie bebre mi say mi fie ade o mu chi nyina amadi. Esi tiri twan hwiensi.
Anya hwini obi ana me ka say send nipa ebi wo abufu so. Na ebi nso abufu no e wo fom. Nipa ebi timi tolerate niam bebre.
Sana bosum ni biti.
Yes,
ebinum so munyi abotre.
Ebi ni abotre.
Eno na ye abusuan ni suban ana.
Wo be kwa abusuan ni so ben so mo abusuan ni so. Obi ni abotre.
You are watching the biggest and the largest. Enti akanka for no mi hwenya bia interview ni pa o. Mi nya bia denti na ya mo ma interview about mo believe no.
We can't interview, but I say the process is long.
Very. You write multiples of letters.
I say, especially as a platform, then yeah, I saw in the platform. Yeah, now because when the person gets hold of that information, yeah, now this will be control how the person uses the information.
But the point is, some they be a day in and day out. No more expect some be bigger, more grow bigger. Am I correct? And the fraternity doesn't need more members anymore.
That's not our need. Our need is whatever we believe in, not necessarily say
and that's why you have to meet us and tell us what we need to hear from you. So make that arrangement for me.
Okay,
I've written enough letters.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Only Jehovah Witness for they are making it difficult to tell us what they are doing in their canons. So please work around it. For we are holding you responsible for that.
Okay.
So we get an air canker to interview. Okay. You are in my trouble.
Okay.
You are watching the biggest and the largest, and then we are discussing our unseen friends. And no, and a topic no with Mr. Sampson Owusu. And in the media platform no amayen. Na wakachre. What is friend? What is a friend and what is unseen? Yes. Who explain it and how define these two words? Ne what word in the movie? Then you take us through your topic.
Okay. Unseen just you and I attention in the hall. And our friend a year ubia opewasem. Then just a cancer unseen friends are. Your number for be a train who see your attention in the almost. And so some your number for to know on pay us.
Okay, so your topic is our unseen friends.
Yes.
So take us through.
Okay. My car said, na me yakwara between me and my junior brother 1.5 years in the trying term. And the other, you did my junior brother na achi so no. And also 1.5 years. To me sister do me no me saying 3 years. Ma the work medal no ye nkwara no yare ye pa ye mema mienu pe ma 8 na me maame de ni chinye nche se aduru owu ti there was a time and I was so die na ne maame we free me maame free around 1971 me maame we free ohun no
pa ye wo nana
eye me nana o ka chen se asem abani and o kire ni wura bi e ma ne kokko te ye de ya akwara no opon nante o ma nante nyina se wura no pa me maame te ya akwara no akwara no hoto no na be yo nwa so no so kra ne kete busuam ta ma me ne wo ka sei ta akwara na ohunhun ya nko wu no there are issues madam for back on so ni sister na obi kwa kokunu obi di na ko ba bi a wo kokunu ne maame no e wo bosom but ne maame na ja akom eko SD ana se kwa sore foforo but time onipa ne kokunu no bosom no pie wo ba bi a onipa na wo kokunu e ka che se wan anko ba kan ko confess e obe punish no. So we ask ourselves these examples say am me maame nko an betimi a visit ne maame a wawu for help ana say bosom na call ye ko pam girl na tamfo no ono nko an owo bibisa wo na busuam na. My own experience in investigation just say you have access to them, and it is only when we ask. Me maame de niko ba bibibre thinking say wait me asane yare but that day na ono ankasa friend ne maame ebisa no say onye den no the answer came. Enti me feel say before we can even talk about spirituality we have to know what is around us because circumstances now they were all created by God. Nothing was created by anybody. And they say, who can first well living spiritually within our own compound with the unseen parts. I make I say, my papa say, I think 2011. For 1 year, the behind me who know. You say, if you all cry near maybe he was directing me to go and do it. Maybe so be I say, am I the only person I met me? I saw some information from my papa. No, obia wo ho akonya. Na nya any special training bia you only have to acknowledge them.
One pour libation, one fufu talk, one yeshwe.
Menye bi kra.
Ena ene obekasa ye.
Ba me bisaye.
Ubisa ye. You ubisa wo ho. And now go ubisa, how did you ask? We want to know, we are learning.
I say me papa odin.
And ubisa wo ho in your own kana.
Yes, that's like you are praying. When you are praying and then you mention God. Do know say Nyankopon will always work through people around you. And those Nyankopon bet me working through them. They bet me benefit no. Yes, any pay American. In the other I tell me my man it came from God through men. And it can happen to everybody.
It can happen to everybody. You are watching the biggest and the largest. Into one couple libation, one couple she. Ebusiani mu ni pe nyina no. Adenti na wonko ana na one wo kasa.
Menko ana mpesem ne kasa. Menya sure se no be interested.
Obi so seeki. Enti obiya bia owo wiase in his or her own little mind, and according to you. Obetumi afre ne maame. Sam papa kwa mpoku e. Nkrofo na aba me fie we a. Omo de hammer. Abe pai me glass. Omo bekume. Na me ama ka say ya kire papa na papa abe hwehwe omo ni so amom.
That's mentioning of the name, something can happen. That's mentioning of
not libation. Nothing. In that manner, are we calling ghosts? Is that necromancy?
It depends on how you see ghosts.
Yes. So tell us how to talk to your father like that.
I tell people they are my friends.
They are your friends. Yes. So you that is calling them your friends without libation and nothing. Yes. But you are assessing them.
Yes.
And now obi or no so say of reference amount for necromancer who when ye be into him. These two things, these two in some amphos. What's the difference?
What will be our friends amount for there's some man in here within or no area, for instance, say be a fear some mine a may friend. And na me feel say who person refer to. But when you are relating to one person or the now around you, you don't need anything.
You are watching the biggest. You don't need libation. You don't need akoko. You don't need moja
at all.
You don't need anything. You just speak to them. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Perfectly.
You do?
Yeah.
You do believe in that?
Yes.
So if you believe in reincarnation, and you are still talking to your father at this age, does that mean your father will never reincarnate again?
It depends on him.
It depends on him.
Whether he chooses to come or
tell us what brought about that. And then warranty say obi o papa beba ana omba. And then this are the neighbor.
And I did that thing. Remember, I did it for only 1 year. I may feel say from that time, but I think that and then when I'm faced with a huge problem, men na cry me free.
Matthias here wo ho. The enti me bisa wo sa and say you believe in reincarnation.
Yes.
Enti so be reincarnate here. It means you cannot call that soul again.
Yeah.
Papa
who are, for instance, let's say me papa were reincarnated. Now it's just like moving from that higher stage down here.
Yes.
Now there are people over there within the chair down. So my father's infant said, "You go worry me sister." Cecilia, you be no be obekwa jensan.
Exactly my point. There me person me who say. Cecilia no papa no say wa reincarnate after 1 year na. Na wa be ya wo ba boy na wa wo no na. One ne wo fie na. Wo frɛ na enye wo papa na beba biom. But ebusuani mufo ni bi na omo decide say omo reincarnate no. Omo sisi ho.
Yes, they answer your call for you.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
So when somebody is reincarnated, you cannot call that person again.
How will you know whether that person has reincarnated?
That's what I want to know.
It's only when you are aware, say we are reincarnated there, you may choose to call another person. But I am fine say you are ordinary, who need spiritual idea, but you are ordinary. I make us say oba wo kwawari, o papa wu kura na.
That's what I'm saying. She fan say who nim na wo frɛ wo papa na you keep calling. No say who nim so we reincarnated and now we are. You keep calling o papa na. Family ni mufo na omo decide say omo reincarnate no omo na omo beba
ana so omo onye bia omo decide bi kura omo beba ba omo time nso ye
so omo ni bi na beba omo ni bi na beba
sometimes you may not see the person enemy so that me who papa face to face you only see that the problem has been solved
eno na me pese me bisa say nti say wo frɛ na o papa na reincarnate now another person will respond that.
Yes.
And no on ba with your father's figure. How would that happen? You get it in yes. Daisum na uhu papa.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Say o papa reincarnate.
Yeah, Daisum ko so travel so na me hono.
That's that ni na your theory. And yeah,
oh definitely.
So ni na I mean, but what I want to know is that say o papa no why reincarnate na wo friend is here. What am I say? Na said the awoka say nananum ni bi no beje wo so no. So omo beje wo so sa na omo beba with o papa figure no and how does that work?
Since your father is no more there, it will be difficult for me to say they will come with your father. But of course, those entities at that level no, can come with any figure they want. Sometimes a figure I will be comfortable with. A bit me abakra se mekra na me name papa din komo. Be kra na even within that time no I reincarnated that. But then the fact say me
body na wo friend ti obi afa ne body ni dey aba.
Something
the old body.
Yes, Ed Abajas to represent him because me who will be a me papa dinner. One was some grand say papa no dim papa dia no every day me who ni bia na o look more like me papa da bia me who ni bia no I say was say me papa more. So when I say daddy, he is the one to respond. And no hono so na tina o dia ja no but how they do it there, you asked for solution to a particular problem. You didn't ask for appearance of anything. No one said we are fortunate. And the name I make it can just tell me they will appear. Sometimes they can work behind the scenes, but all what you realize and say, all those.
So you just need to connect.
Connect.
Yeah, the attorney who won't be did.
Madam, in fact, being see Homa will be other.
Okay, you are watching the biggest and the largest. See a woman. They are working media metiasi. Unim. The ameni pam peso obeti sa nsensem we no eye de nkokosam ni nduasam ni de eke ka ho no se ya wo papa wo frɛ na oje wusu yi enti se ye ka se ancestors no mo ye ndua na esisi wo na ye de ngo ne niama ye omo ho na that one no how do we put it
so when say we ase no obi a wo de yastic a odi susu bibi na the fact ni say and yen kasan yastic bi wo ho individually or they measure spirituality. Africa ya adopt religions bebre a enya yen dia. And to be no na in that religion you ntimi separate the spiritual aspect from maybe the custom or the excuse me to say Muslim dressing or PK dressing from Saudi Arabia. Dube said they will always want to dress like an Arab. But they have to see, say, dressing like an Arab or acting like an Arab is not part of the spiritual nature of maybe. Eti minimum of being so no very powerful. But we cannot say them was send away in about the serum. As of almost member be a person for so yi.
Follow.
Aha. And so follow na me am my hu some artificial yastic bia ye de susu niema na condemn niema but enya sa na here no.
Enya sa na here no, can you explain to us some of the things ye what you say am ye de yastic bi measure your culture ene ne awo kan anka ye easy ene simply obetumi abobọ culture ni bi so niema bi anka na anka sese eye sei. But because you adapted to this religion, you know, now ye ni say na emboyen and eboyen. Do you get it?
We made reference to Ngoko Cha and England. All those say menye bi da. But our first short say me condemning anybody doing that. In the Bible, people the Old Testament they were doing it. Now then and Yesu Christ with me friends am for on kasa like Moses and Elijah. Now ubehume na say me papa sama ya kasa. You see those two things to be different. I think it's the same. We ask the king we are too strict to the sense say you don't bring in na so if ekobo o ma for the enyo dan kro ya no ontutai. Na dey nti na ba na se na so e wo na himfie na say wo twa odan a wo feel say dirty and I say devilish ya na enwa say e bompa ye ya nhwe so bompa ye to whatever God we believe in But we always end with insults to for these unseen friends. And over say, but we will continue to have problems. Because God is working through certain entities around you, and you are insulting them. At the end of the day, they work with rules. The law of non-interference affects them. So when you don't invite him, he will leave you to your fate. That is what they are also doing. But you may choose not to do it.
I know you're just one. Give us like about 3.
Okay. Rules and regulations are all. Send your titi will be a based on our unseen friends, edicts. 18 abusuya bi fie bi a obekom bi an ye was some entity bi a another house or a different. Now anytime bi a go against entity na ye de ma wono and the basis spiritual in nature no, you have a problem. Na ti me nka say ma come anim honhom nti no me ne opani kokasa me de me left kokasa. If you say me nim say me fie anytime bia me de me left back as a penny bia and it goes against me spiritually, whether you accept it or not. It you know yeah, one of the things are over for say okay, I'm in a different religion, I rubbish everything. It do sorry out of sabinkum kasakasa trenkofo. There were so many practices out to me say you fear no ya tete yens and I try smooth it. But you go into another religion and you think say you're dirty, so you can just overlook it. I face a lot of problems in our new religion. But see, to me, adopt a state where, because we grow spiritually, so you cannot stay at one place spiritually. You have to move on. But then as you move on, making sure say those down there, no, say the financial margin you do. So we university now face a class when you say not
one house who buy.
A corner fire. To your parents say you do so. Of course, we should accept our new rule spiritually. But then, when we look down, how we speak to those people down there, because it brings to us a lot of problems. Sometimes you know, because they may not even do anything to you, but if they withdraw their role now and go upon their mom around a year, empty. But obi oho said you the fear busum cry or the name is enough for here now he has that kind of utmost protection. And the answer practices are the way you busum so yen hwe ni yen fa no say ya kwa brochira ba your new religion and the practices now wo fi you better there is spiritual repercussions for that.
You are watching the biggest and the largest. Inti say you say you feel religion ni mu. Na you feel ye rules ni regulations no ye yentu ye fungu o
Tamti abewu
utugu a wenwu a award ya award ye to wadwim e na fie ho no mo no so beja aware a obi ani wo betena se egu aware na ma na ye bebo so ye mi fie fo mpanyimfo no sabi nkurase fo mo ye e na ewuti ite kora e na obewu ho e na ade sa wa wo fa akire na afrefre nkrofo no mo koye ma ho and yes, I did. I do come back. Yes, I did. Waka Jamayaka. You're watching the biggest. And Papa says, when we reject our own rules and regulations, as you were saying, a dear na etimima yekom boboso spiritually. Men fan ba aha. Like spiritually, when we detach like that, near from some way samfo. You know these things, you are here. A day in Sunswan, a day by your home samuso.
Mamma analogy be. So be or tifia umune papa. Sorry, we didn't papa them. What are the possible and sembling beton? Your father is supposed to protect you. Your father is supposed to help you get some needs. Father no rule be or ye. And it's all papa kumahana or bit me I withdraw. That kind of support and the role now will play in your life no waiting out withdraw. So if we are also in that habit of insulting those friends of ours, some of them will not do anything to you. They will just withdraw their support and look at you. In we are having challenges because o papa kro ye se bia na maame kro ye mortal a wo ne neti won kro are ye se menye no ana men kasa ntia no de nya kwatenten. So imagine when you go and speak against one of your ancestors and I say a god in your family, repercussions in there a dozen because maybe they mean who obi a ana minim obi a watimi tu anamo papa bia e wo honhom ah ne refi baby ofi ba omo tu anamo papa bia and they still respect where they came from. And they like themselves. They like their.
Now didn't say you say okosi abusu fie no kura wo bewu. Ebi kura nko krom biom. Are you aware of this?
Yes. Yes. And I will say one thing that I even don't understand, they say if you go kwa baby do her. And say by fo bi so obekumi a and gran ha wo suro ha.
Anoni asemi. There's no omo kra ho the time this space be any.
Time this space be
Shalabam no wa foul.
No foul. No go. So it's a wrong say a friend say obi o hon so afie bi o wa e be feel say curse e wo. If there's a curse, you work on it. Because say I want to ohiamu a you are supposed to work for money to change the dynamics. Oh, and one of the ways I ubetimi change those dynamics is to ask yourself questions. That why is this family like this? But you don't run away from the family because when you say na question say identity families are we are seeing no. So family you muni fi. If you're able to ask yourself that question, you will say you are better off staying there because if you na ebubu no mo nkosi ana. When you say can no akosi bi wo yin fie. Amano. Ho dia baifo ni ho. Ho dia baifo ni ho. Na wo agya ho. In fact, one kasa wo ma baifo no kra town.
Watching the biggest. What my baifo na town? Papa, are there things that say unim? Say one another more. Obi anim so one another. I mean, we bear their name, we bear their nose and their eyes. Uko check your papa nose, no na. You realize that. Oh, your papa. Listen, me check here. I mean, we here now. But the point I'm trying to make is that let's assume say maybe nim. Oh, are there things whether you know or don't know? Obeye omo eni beje wo ho. And omo eni beba wo ho. Do you get this?
Yes. Ebia wunnim. But I believe say as an African nananom ba ko mienu bi. Wunnim kra no nipa ko ya do to no. Wunnim no. That person e kra do to no kra no. Whether he's somewhere or we are not so tiase. He still has got interest in your life. The only thing that was no. And I'm be able to be an interest because you represent him or her. And one of the prayers that I advise people to pray, I say praying to yourself. That name there the tone. Bosso, they chant Sadina. Bosedina, you see changes.
And what I want to know if there are anything physical. I say yeah. Like what you say, Yawo, me fan say, Yawo was wedru. Ne ya tu din wo ho na wanyi wo ho no wa bankran. And I said be ebi a wa be Kristo ni na wangu sa ebusuafie ni bibu, ebusuan ni na aye hiafo, wanya sika ne ade. I mean, what I want to ask is what are the physical things wo ya, whether you know say ancestor no or ancestor ni ho. Oh yeah, I bet regard their blessings with you. Say be a abusuan no obi ni sika, obi pesika ton ade wa mani bi. Obi a wato asase bi uye adwuma bi wo ho abusuan no family ni nyina enya bibi nkakra edi emrewe wo ho de ne nsanso na chi no oboaboa no wuji bayisam ni fi nkyese mekoye ombekumi ni. I mean, are there things that you will do? Unkotwa akoko unkotwa so ba, you just do these things and their blessings are taiwechi. And why obi kumi enku
ya wonyama 5 pe 5 pa bia hunhuma de eye ofe na pesu di ache bia sa 5 no e wo se wo ye ba ko e wo se otwu hu fi abufu ehu se ubufu a bebre ya obi an pesu no edinkita ho mienu akono bone last say aduane kra susudi bibia we bia do it in moderation. Number 3, pride ahomaso. You don't have to be proud. For what? Number 4, attachment to material things. Do wa ne ho da. We are saying yama menka se mempe bi o. Sika de ede obi enim. But ne ho da so to the sense and you will be a wo a that is safe safwa. Ekita no. Now as me I feel the way that to form. Yeah, and the last one greed. Person menkumenya. Omo person mo hwabusua omo wo bi no. Obehwe mu no na say niam 5 we are guilty of 1. Now who rule be aye do beto abusua nim say you. E bia one of the things they say who benya sika. Na
Acho obi a.
Make I say betri ban so on ekita abusua as I speak.
It's be difficult but you cross so.
Ubenya mienu ne miensa bia you can invest your something in them. Almost they will go back to the family and then help. And it say which one who say niam 5 we ho a always be no. Every spiritual be a wo who be is charged. And one nam you are spiritual in nature. But would differ will be no more. And no na ya ne wan we ya just ko tubo some people ho ban. But if you are disciplined in these 5 a year.
It's a cosmic law no year juma.
Yeah. You have no problem.
Protected.
You are protected.
Obi baby Maame bisa me de me na ya nkrofo ta I can say me proud. I am na me ntia say me nim say confidence no mo ye confused about it. Yes you be proud of your hwan.
Me hwe yan me ta hwe we ni bibiri na Maame ba ko bisa say how do I see you? Me say o attack guest. Now that is what I want. At least and you say about Owusu ntino be krokro nipa ede katasu mama, so you want to bring out something in that person. So force now the you know can be misconstrued to be proud. But pride is the absence of humility. So look at in the person's normal self. I wouldn't know how or you're proud because
exactly. Who share no shows.
So
they say Juma.
I say Maame bi ada bi show TV show ba or e by for. And on am krom kura na enkwada
say a movie.
Enkwada san.
You are watching The Biggest. On a more serious note, you spoke about greed. Maybe pride where you are no. You spoke about greed.
Yes.
Who would you say this person is greedy?
When you have and it looks like you think everything you have is yours. Ade bi ekita ubi and if you want kasanka wa ho ofe kura no, you are just a custodian
of the beauty.
Yeah. I was also making sure say people should benefit from that beauty.
The beauty.
Yes. And you don't want people to benefit.
How do I make people benefit? Me abom no abom no fool. Mama knows. Nice eyes.
In the morning, when a nice lady like you smiles to somebody.
Oh, that one they I give. So back from Mama be 50.
Me don't yami.
You're watching The Biggest.
You are not greedy. The nyankopon dey so say ka say greedy anya material things nko just give a smile. Oh, so who shabusia I can see you are greedy. Because Obia will rule a will play.
Almost say, oh, my cat and so called Rebusian for no beku. Now, why are ready? So, obey your cry, Maame cry, you're protective because you're the ascent. I say, Maame no more Christianity time, no, not a jawum, and they are still holding on to it. And it's a person who knew way my way, no one shares Obia, you okay? Osro,
one day your friends will ask you questions. The unseen friends will ask you questions because that right there now, whether Maame village, you know. We say Owusu village or small biba.
Imagine.
Say before now we say onu ye before ko be kun no na ban so na Maame so ma no. So we akwatena brochiri. So why akwara no e ben Maame no Maame Owusu no. And akwara no nye greedy or so Maame.
Now dey
na wo kakra wa de be bre no
you
are thinking about something else.
Abayisam no dey o mama aye serious nti nipa kra nya papa bi. Watching The Biggest. So Papa, you're our unseen friends. Na your topic no fa ne se no bi di ne channel no ato ha. Ni awakeken nyina yetie Ba me pese wo de topic ni na bom tofa. Na wo de manipa, na wo manipa te ase say ya wo wato abusuam ni ya wo wato akurase. Baby I will take you first step. There is a reason. I mean, until I will take you first step. It's not about libation. It's not about mounting deer or what have you. These unseen friends, they are taking our lives and what we have to do to connect and the benefits from them in the realms of the ethereal. No, so we didn't boom now my great education. We are advice. I would be many per 5 famomo. Na fe we are wo social media handles no se bi wo ha wo de apay so e de amaye.
Yo, I'm say our unseen friends simply say baby a wo bia no your physical side and your spiritual side. Enti o family mu or tribe, your country and even the continent. Your the physical side aye nyina ye hu and your the spiritual side. Obia opese utu anamo wo honhom bia and it starts from self-realization. And self-realization starts from you knowing your identity and then knowing where you came from and then respecting that place that you came from. That is the first step that you have to make. And just sorry be anu betimi akọ, but make sure say you cannot jump class 1 and then go to university. So why ntimi anu hu ni e wo ho a obe face abrabo wo bo. And so na serve you happiness are your happiness wonni bi. Enti me catch what you for say. We should ask questions when we are dealing with certain things. Okay, sabi my Christian pen. Yes, no is there any. I didn't know me young me or Israel near Bewo Megana. Now me teha Efre Jacob Name Abraham Name. Now my grandfather was a chief. And on to me who say we shall not pass empire. Would it be wrong for me to call him Nana ya been ready adhere to me to bram? It is not wrong. Because if say Bible mu obi timi frɛ bosaman din e bɔ mpaye na say wo saman ni bi wo fie na wo ntimi modin mo mpaye, that means we are feeling the first step of spirituality. You don't know yourself. Now wunni ho a there is no way you can see God. If you say Nyankopɔn eyi ne hu tre omo a omunni mo ho, cause o ka say we ye ne image and that's what your spark of God. That is what we say. Now that spark of God now we ye no so wo hu ye a esi na anti se brodo ekita me ne abusia amame a na me nim se e brodo a me hu brodo kase ne si ho a me da hu se peace ni bi ni.
Exactly.
I was say me timi identify as how de na ekita me na me hu kase na da ho na
hu ne bo asum.
Who say when you go to Arab countries Islam e boa won pa. Identity the effect of Islam in a place like Dubai and yet so effective. Had the any effective to say ho. Now Jehovah God is for Israel and look at them. The effect of almost on them are far more effective than
the benefits.
Benefits won't benefit more. Why? Because they are lucky say customs no tradition almost fuse into the religion they have. And to man kasa domestic practices are almost yet to such a day as Africans. Almost the end there, a new religion na boom. And to do a here who difference between the custom and the religion. But when we come here, we separate our custom, condemn it, and then take something else. That is the basic problem I have. But your friend saying, somebody was talking to me about corruption. And I say corruption. What do opa yemfa bosom ba kope enkosi parliament house yen ka se wo be ya ibia fa nsato so na eswe ese sebiu udiga na sika gu yen hwe ni pa he a betimi do mo nsa ga na sika, but they go and hold something else knowing very well as how they no enye effective and they will dodge the effective one and label it say enye. It is a non-tinama, we are system in Africa. No, I saying because what else are betting me changing? At what me papa at the demo one will be or this will be trouble dear with you. When I am a bodia, or so you were dancing new to me modua. Or traco. Now, another woman so bang on the himself on the body. Or yeah, the body to me pie. That's so nobody touches. Now, if we have a way of controlling ourselves, near the ato, I now you are before far, a dear will be bit me swear ne, watching another dear now or can't see one yen. Now, oh, yeah. And no, now may I say, they won't, ye may probia or the bubbles will be dean. Now I swear, now dear tia, walk away, dear, yeah. That is our loss of identity. Sans I need to know. We don't know God. Most of Africans don't know God because
we don't know God.
If you can't identify yourself, so who to who face and go pon ye obronia. How do you and the who tells you have no place in that because one kasa wa drainage is nyampo po ye obroni. To bet ya obi kasa nipa bibini die, bibini black man or black sense. Sense na ye kan nyina na egu ye yankasa ho fi. Egu o man ho fi. Egu ye yankasa unseen friends no ho fi. And you will never get any fever anywhere. Many about kona ope visa ko US. Okoya yamano. Ana dayem ana master semba ko kachire ne say on top snap on command abusia pani. Non fa mon paye man. Abusia pani nso ye asori elder. The boy you to snap no de command. Mo so on the mo dey hwehwe bi ku ho ne ka wo de bo Christian paye na hwehwe nsan gu woni yenko. Ade achi okoye pen ye de man no. Now imagine say nipa no that direction they said to snap me dem of course the boy he doesn't drink. Intime no monsan intime ton san go we can then come any me na get ya. Now when we have a clear a year en cost ye hwe. Ni asi news na mo be ko tua sika mankrofo aye saying in the hope say ade na yen ye wo fie no we are going to find it somewhere you will never see because yen hwehwe kube e wo manwase. I'm say
yo auntie wa foto ni obi biasa ana wo say mienu miensa bia opese o kana
I'm say finally no the feel say obi anko no religion a wo first say wakomanda so name don't forget say there is a reason why you came on this earth planet. There's a reason why you came to Africa. There's a reason why you are a Ghanaian. There's a reason why you are an Akan or whatever. There's a reason that you are short and you are black. If you are able to unravel that mystery, that means you have finished the first step of spirituality. Then you are on your way to see
proceed.
God.
Okay, what can be profound? Your time na samumba mami bisa. What say so obi person hu nyame a? Who can nyame? When you say nyame, what are you referring to?
I'm talking about the ultimate
the
God.
Supreme being.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because if you believe in spirits, that definitely it be so I'm thinking about the highest of them all.
Okay. Yo, thank you so much for coming. Any social media handles?
Yes. We have a group na isuansuade also Pakti. Pakti. PAHKTI. Pakti.
Okay. You are watching the biggest. Papa, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. Abusia, say any fanimbra life na watch your comment section one year the na ba na ebisa na that's come asem 3 but your time no so asa nti na aha na medi wu ebesi. Papa, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming. Abusia, oh, me a nice girl oh. She aya say me ni show ni so a me nkasampo me hojo papa. Show ya le mama. Makramo.